Basically, you have cars and then you have Tesla. Hello and welcome. Today we'll have a look at the 2021 Tesla Model 3 long range. And before we do so, do not forget to subscribe and click that like button to support this channel. So we have here a 2021 model and this is my first quick review of this 2021 model. You can tell by these inserts that are not chrome, they are blacked out in this version. And there are some other details. For those that cannot recognize, I'll make a specific video to see what are the differences between 2021 and the previous year models. So first of all, we have a black exterior and white interior. It's a long range non-performance version, so it's still the dual motor, yet it is a slightly slower car, if I can call it like that, because it's relatively quick. Even in this setup, it has different brakes, so there are some other tweaks that change, but overall it's a very nice looking car and a very fast car. So looking at the interior, the first thing that you can see is that this white interior is very show off. I quite like it, but many say that it is too much. I don't know what is your opinion. I think that it stands out a lot. It doesn't look like any other interior that you can get, completely different from the black one, as an example. In the back you have a lot of space. I'll try to sit and show you. So I sit behind myself, and this is the kind of legroom that I have. I'm 1.80 meters and I'm okay sitting behind myself. This is what the front looks like. Again, you can tell that it is the updated 2021 model. You have the induction charging for the phones, you have the different materials that are used on the center console, and some other details like the buttons on the doors, or the shades that have this magnetic system now. That is quite intuitive, very easy to use. It has a massive panoramic roof. And this panoramic roof contributes a lot to the spacious, airy feeling of this car. So the steering, as on all Model 3s, is a 3-spoke steering wheel, quite comfortable. It has this synthetic leather. I cannot complain. It has all you would need on it. So the controls that do a lot, in fact, on this Model 3. So there are 10 buttons. You can go left and right, and you can also push on them. These are the kind of functions that you have on either side, and then you have most of the functions on the screen itself. Quite a big screen, and then you have the gear lever right here, as well as some of the controls in terms of wipers, lights that are on the left lever. And then you have your door opening, so electronic, that will also enable the windows to slightly go down, because this avoids damaging the seal that is right here. And you can also activate, open the doors manually like this, and you'll get a warning message saying that this can damage the seal. Then you have your usual controls for the windows, and that's pretty much it. Everything else happens from the screen itself in terms of adjustments of the car. So quick controls on the lights, the rear view mirrors. The rear view mirrors are electronically adjusted, and all this happens from the steering wheel, as you can see. So I'm turning the control knobs on the steering wheel to adjust the mirrors. The same goes on the other side. The steering wheel itself works in a similar way, and then you can save your settings. All the settings in terms of lighting, of locking the car with the keys, obviously with the phone app. You can set up night and day settings. This is the day setting, this is the night setting. Let's go back to automatic setting, driving settings. So comfort, standard, sport, autopilot. This car does not have the full self-driving, so it has just the autopilot, which is okay for many situations. It will not get you the lane change, for example, which can be quite convenient, as you would imagine, on the highway. But this is by default present in the car, so you do not have to pay the 7,500 euros option for the full self-driving mode. Navigation, and you can plan all your settings in the navigation, security, maintenance, and the updates that you would get on your car. Music, the cameras, the wipers, and then all these different other options. So you have another pop-up menu that will give you information in terms of if you want to call someone, agenda, camera, energy. Let's see, in terms of energy, this is the type of energy consumption that we can see on this car. So on average 20.7 kilowatt hour per 100 kilometers. You can see the information in terms of charging. So we have 371 kilometers of range left, and you need to have in mind that real life range, this is the dual motor long range, you have a range of approximately 400 to 450 kilometers. Obviously in winter time you'll have less than that, and depending on your driving conditions and where you drive, this will vary quite a lot. You have the games. Kids love these, entertainment and games. I have played with my daughter one of them, and I couldn't take away from the screen, so it works quite well. Then you have your heating, your heated seats, left and right, and the heated front window and back window. So these are the main controls. The glove compartment is also operated by here, so you open it through the screen as well. So there is no physical button to open it. You need to get inside the menu right here and open your glove compartment. A lot of storage here. So you have a big storage space here, another big storage space right here, and on this one, in fact, you have the USB, so two USB-C ports, as well as you get two of these in the back. Overall, the interior is quite spacious and functional for this size of the car. So it's a D-segment 4-door sedan, and it has a lot of space inside. It has a reasonable space in the back, so in the trunk, and it has a frunk as well, which we will look at right away. The thing about the 2021 model is that the trunk is now the possibility to be opened electronically. We'll also open the frunk, and I will show you what these look like in real life. So rather spacious trunk, and you have this space right here. It's not smaller, so it is really useful to have it. So electronic trunk, and we'll go in the front for the trunk, which is different. So it is slightly smaller than on the previous year models, because the 2021 model, all of them now have a heat pump. It is supposed to gain efficiency in terms of heating, but it takes more space and it lives right here. This is why this space is smaller, and it's fully plastic now, so different from the earlier model years. No protection here, so it's the sheet of metal, unusual to be seen in premium vehicles, if we can call Tesla a premium vehicle. I would more call it a tech oriented vehicle, and most of the customers that get a Tesla is not necessarily those that love driving, even if those that love driving and get to drive one very often get converted and end up choosing a Tesla. As you may know, Teslas are not known for superior build quality, and in fact this model is not an exception. If we look at some of the details in terms of build quality, it is not at all at the same level as some of the German premium brands. I'm thinking of Audi, for example, or even Mercedes. So the gaps are not at all at the same level. I'll show you again right here. So the gap that is very different, so this corner is not assembled perfectly and is not aligned perfectly. The same here. Let's look at the gap here. So in fact I managed to realign it, so which was not the case before. So there are some of these details that are not ideal. Overall, I think this particular model that I got is quite good as compared to others, but even so, it's not at the same level as some of the premium brands, especially from German OEMs. So you have a total of 8 cameras. So you have cameras, the side cameras that are here. You have another one right here. You have obviously the central cameras, so the 3 front-looking cameras, and another very important piece is the radar that sits right here. So it lives in the front area, and it operates most of the functions of the autopilot function. And the cameras will assist it, but the cameras cannot operate the autopilot without the front radar. Being a European model, it has CCS and Type 2 charging, so CCS and Type 2, and the charging speeds, the official charging speeds are quite high. I managed to recharge it at a maximum of 120 kilowatts, and I was connected on a V3 Tesla supercharger, so this is not extremely fast, knowing that I have preheated the battery, and I was expecting to get in the area of 150 to 170 kilowatts, which unfortunately was not the case. Very quickly I will show you how you can use some of the space with the seats folded. I will fold here the rear seat as well. And you get, it's not a flat space, but almost flat space here. First, let me say that this car is like no other. Basically, you have cars and then you have Tesla. This car is extremely easy to get used to. So here I am, I just got inside, and all I need to do is press the brake button, the brake pedal. I need to press the brake pedal. It will tell me that I need to fasten the seat belt, which obviously I will do, and I will just engage drive. This is the small gear lever that I need to use, and I am in drive, meaning that the car is ready to go. I just press the accelerator and here we are moving. Very simple to get used to. No keys to turn, no start buttons, nothing like that. Very straightforward. All the information that I need will be on the central screen. There is no other screens. Basically, I have the speed limit, I am in drive, it shows me that the lights are on. That's it. Do I need anything else? I don't think so. It has everything I need here, and obviously, since it has the autopilot, it will do a lot of the driving for me. And I will show you right away the way the autopilot works. We will engage it here so you can see how it works in city conditions, so with the city traffic, and then we'll take a portion of the highway and we'll see how it copes with the highway driving. In this case we have just the standard autopilot, so we do not have the full self-driving, so the FSD, but it is already quite good, as you will see. So I will engage right now the autopilot. It is blue, so I'm not doing anything. I need to switch lanes, and because I do not have the FSD, I need to do it by myself, and the autopilot stopped working. So now I have engaged it, so the car will manage all this situation by itself. I'm not doing anything. It will just ask me to put my hands back on the steering wheel, which I will do as soon as it asks me to do so. Otherwise, it is driving for me. So the blue here means that the car wants you to keep your hands on the steering wheel. So I'm just keeping my hands on the steering wheel, but other than that, I'm not doing anything. And it is quite impressive the way it manages this kind of situations. We'll go straight and we'll let it manage some steeper curves. Let's see how it manages those. So as you can see, it can identify the traffic lights. I didn't do anything, so it hesitated to follow the car in front of us, and then it realized that the road was straight, so it continued straight ahead. So the lights went green and the car could accelerate, which it does. It asks me to keep my hands on the steering wheel, so I'm just keeping it on the steering wheel, but I'm not doing any of the driving. The driving is done by this car. There are a bunch of test drive that will do it much better than me. All I want to say is that this car is very pleasant to drive. It has plenty of power. You will struggle to find a car on the road that is quicker than this one. Obviously the performance version will be quicker, but for everyday driving it is more than enough. Much more than enough. You have instant torque. The power is intoxicating, so you're tempted to play with it every time you have a little bit of space and the situation allows you to. Yeah, you're tempted to play with it. One big downside of this car is the radius that you need to make a U-turn. So the turning radius is not that great on this car. So in city conditions, if you have especially European smaller streets, you will feel that sometimes it is not as agile on smaller streets because of this radius that is quite big. So this is something that you need to have in mind. Driving the Model 3 is an excellent experience. Even today, it's not the first time I'm driving one, but the nice experience is still there. You have a lot of light. This panoramic roof brings a lot of light, and you have this impression of a lot of space, which is great. I say this white interior, so synthetic leather, contributes to that. It may not be the most practical one yet. It is very, very good looking. So if you decide to drive the Model 3 and not leave it in autopilot, you have instant acceleration, very precise steering. It is a driver's car. So this was it. This is a quick overview of the Tesla Model 3. This car is extremely fun to drive, dual motor, instant acceleration, a lot of power, a lot of torque. So a very fun car to drive. What about you? What do you think about it? Don't hesitate to leave a comment down below and subscribe if you want to get notified for any new videos that will be uploaded on this channel. See you next time. Cheers.